Let's go. Hello, boys and girls. All right, so we were going to talk about Shambhala Mountain Center in the 90s. What was it like? What was it like, Shambhala Mountain Center in the 90s? So, I already kind of gave the story of how I got there. And I would say, for me, the period between 1995 and 2000 was the fun time. It didn't get really kind of bad until 2002, but like the 95 to 2000 was like the fun time of being in Shambhala. And it was like kind of, it's kind of a cliche to say some places like kind of like the Wild West, especially since the Wild West wasn't really like the Wild West. But Shambhala Mountain Center was kind of like the Wild West back then. So I spent the summer of 95, 96, 99, and definitely 2000, and I think 2001, 2002 at Shambhala Mountain. And those summers lasted between 3 and 5 months, depending on how many things I did. So this is kind of the time period that I'm talking about, and especially like from 95 until 99 was when the Shambhala Mountain Center really changed. The construction happened before that, but it was like 99 was when the like really big change. 98, 99 was when the really big change happened. So back then, like 95, 96, it was like in the winter there would be a staff of like 12 to 14 people kind of thing. And so the summer staff would kind of dominate the energy and have kind of just a couple of people to look to, between the summer staff and the program staff, which of course we probably didn't understand at that time very well what the hell was going on. We were just up there driving trucks around like it was like being on a commune, and then meditating. And I that's the thing, is like I really kind of dug the whole community thing, like let's meditate and be compassionate and be in a community in a beautiful place. It was that was great. That was just fantastic. And from a point of view of doing like regular Buddhism, that's pretty good thing. Then there was the weird, like, everybody was drunk around us thing. We could talk. We'll make a different video about that Warrior Assembly. I think that Warrior Assembly probably should get its own video. But so the general vibe though was like it was 95, 96, right? So when did the region tie? 91 or 92? So this was kind of the sort of dark time, and there was like, it was kind of desperate in the sense that they would kind of take anybody, and they would kind of put up with a lot in order to sort of keep the doors open, because they kind of, their labor pool probably wasn't that great at that moment. They had just changed the name. That 95 was the year they changed the name to Shambhala Mountain Center, to kind of, because it was the whole Shambhala is okay, so he did the whole Shambhala is the umbrella under which Vajradhatu, Nalanda, and I don't remember what the other one was. Ikebana was Nalanda. I don't remember. There were three things under. Shambhala was one of the three. Shambhala was, I don't remember. It didn't last long. That incarnation of Shambhala didn't last very long, because then it kind of switchified twice more. And then in 2000 it went haywire, and then it got wild. He was just looking for stuff. But anyhow, at any rate, Cliffy, at any rate, the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, the general vibe up there. So it was a bunch of kids. It was mostly a bunch of kids. Like you had but yeah, I don't know, but if I can go through the individual people, but basically it was drunken campfires, a lot of people smoking weed. A lot of people were smoking weed. I actually got caught smoking weed. I think it was in '96, and I stopped smoking weed on the land actually after that because I was like followed the rules, But '95 we smoked weed all the fucking time. I got caught in '96, and or caught. I didn't get caught. I got kind of turned in and admitted it, because I couldn't tell a lie because Buddhism. So yeah, so I had to admit it when they asked me, and then I actually stopped when I told them I would stop. I really did. A bunch of people, other ones, stopped for like 2 weeks and then started smoking again, and I got really mad at them. That happened. Yeah, it's hard to talk about this actually because I want to talk about details, but I don't want to talk about details because, there was the one guy that I was really close friends with who had a problem with alcohol and was sort of like the alcohol crusader up there, and then after a couple years started drinking again, and then got kind of sort of driven out in a really kind of like you're a problem kind of way. It was like he was suffering and people just kind of didn't want to deal with him, and so they kind of drove him out and sent him to Boulder, and then sort of paid attention to him in Boulder, and yeah, and then he wound up committing suicide. And so there was that guy. Yeah, Jesus Christ. See, that's why it's so hard to talk about. I was like, let's talk about the '90s. The early '90s were fun. Yeah, no, none of it was fun. I mean, some of it was definitely fun. The Poudre River was fun. Holy crap, the Poudre River is beautiful. Go swimming there. It's gorgeous. Go camping up there, too, because those folks need your money, and it's pretty awesome up there. But, yeah, well, that's a downer. His name was Steve. He's dead. He doesn't give a fuck. Nobody's gonna come to his house and give him trouble. He was a good guy. He was from Kentucky. And, he actually one time he came back with like a case of jars of moonshine from Kentucky that were going around. I actually drank some with somebody like 5 years after he died, to kind of remember him. Yeah, I liked him a lot. Actually, we were pretty close. We were actually very close, and that was the first time. Actually, wow, I didn't expect to be talking about this. That was the first time that I saw the Sangha just totally let somebody down. Creating enlightened society, blah, blah, blah. I mean, this was somebody who was close to the Sakyong. He was a Kusung. And yeah, he had, like so many of us, remember the trauma theme? Yeah. This is a guy who grew up like heating up water and sharing the bath, like, heating up water on the stove, on the wood stove, and pouring it into a tub and then sharing the bath with the other children. Like that kind of like Kentucky upbringing. And yeah, it was interesting because like he was wild and kind of interesting guy, and Sakyong pulled him in closer and closer, and then that was probably the only reason people paid any attention to him at all when he left Shambhala, but they kind of pushed him out a little bit, and then just kind of neglected him. Anyhow, yeah, so the good old days were, we were young and running around driving trucks, putting up tents, putting screws in and taking screws out, and doing kind of simple labor in a beautiful environment, and meditating every day. Like, a lot of us were meditating every day. That summer I was meditating a lot. That was the year that was the second year we were in childcare, which was way better than the first year, 96. I don't know why I said that was, because I was talking about all the Steve stuff happened a couple years later, but he was up there then. Yeah, it was, great. Wow, it was a freewheeling good time. That was kind of what I meant to sort of convey with this, and then now I feel sad. So, hey, Shambhala, even the good parts suck. Oh well, at any rate.